So you got one of these. Now, why would you go and buy one of these big chunky things? Let's get into it. So you just got your Samsung S21 Ultra 5G phone with 108 megapixel camera. 108 megapixel camera. Many cameras today, professional cameras, don't even have that much megapixel. But yeah, so you have your fancy phone and you think to yourself, well, why would I need to go out and buy a DSLR or a point and shoot camera or just any camera that's not a phone? Let me explain. But first, if it's your first time visiting this channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so that you can be notified when I post new content. Also, if you want to check out my Instagram for all the other stuff that I do, here's my link. So there's this talk that everybody's going around thinking, well, I have a phone that shoots high resolution image, why would I need to go a camera? And don't get me wrong, phones today are plenty good for everyday photography, for capturing the moment. It is the tool that most of us have that don't need any kind of settings. The phone will take the photo for you and you don't have to worry about anything. Whereas a camera, i.e. a DSLR, you have an automatic setting, but you also have other stuff that you have to consider when taking a photo. Whereas a phone, you just get up, shoot, camera does it all for you. Pictures, amazing. So why on earth would you go out and buy another camera? I'll tell you why. Firstly, the main thing that's responsible for a great image quality is the camera sensor. The camera sensor is what captures the image, and without a good sensor, the camera image is going to be crap. It might look good on the device that you take the picture on because their screens are fully optimized to make the camera look good. A couple of things that you have to know. So if you look at this diagram that I've put up, and this is sensor sizes. Now there's tons of sensor sizes out there, but today I want to focus mainly on the phone sensor and the full frame camera sensor. Now, these are actual sizes in millimeters of the sensors. If you look at where it says iPhone 6, that sensor is what you will find in all camera phones. That itty bitty sensor. The one at the bottom is what you will find in professional cameras today, whether it be mirrorless or DSLR. That is the sensor size. So when you look at the phone sensor and you look at the full frame camera sensor, look at the difference. Now here's what I want you to do. I want you to draw a diagram of the 35mm sensor, the sizes are there, and I want you to draw the same diagram of the phone sensor using the sizes that it's in that diagram that you just see. Now I want you to get a nice viral pen and I want you to put 50 dots, just 50 because we can't be putting millions. Now I want to put 50 dots in that sensor, and then I want you to put the same 50 dots in the phone's sensor with the same size pen. Let me know if you get that fit. I'm telling you, it's not gonna fit. You'll have to use a smaller pen to get the same amount of dots in that smaller sensor that's in the large sensor. So that brings me to the point and the most important thing that I want to talk about. What makes a better sensor? Not the 108 megapixel on the sensor, but the size of the pixels that's on the sensor. So it means a bigger sensor will always have bigger pixels. Larger pixels absorb more light. More light equals better photos. So even though my 35mm sensor, which is a full frame camera, only has 30 million pixels and that Samsung phone has 108 megapixels, there's no way in this world today that those pictures will be much better than the ones that are coming out of my full frame camera, because those sensors are so tiny that that camera needs so much light, so much software to manipulate the image on that sensor to give you what you see on your phones today. Whereas my camera don't need all of that. It has a processor like a computer. It's not software driven to get rid of the noise. It's not software driven to get sharpness, because with DSLR cameras or mirrorless cameras or point and shoot cameras or any cameras with an interchangeable lens, the sharpness of the image depends on the lens that you use. On a phone, they use digital sharpening, which looks unnatural. They use digital noise reduction, which, sometimes the images are so over processed that they look all mushy. But your phone is optimally designed to give you the best results of every image taken on the phone. Now, going back to the first statement, I am not saying that you have to go out and buy yourself a camera. In today's world, people are quite happy to go out and take pictures on their phone because it's all about capturing the moment, creating those memories. And yes, it's great to keep those on your phone, but trust me, when you are planning a family holiday or family day out, it is much better to grab yourself, whether it be a point and shoot camera, which comes with a 1-inch sensor, which is not as big as the full frame sensor, but it will give you better image quality than your phone, or get yourself a semi-pro camera. I know it's big, I know it's chunky to take around, but trust me, you will always get much better image from a camera than you would get on your phone. So let me recap that for you. The main difference between a phone and a camera is the sensors in phones are so small that the company needs to put a lot of software in that phone to be able to get really good imagery out of these phones today. So just because your Samsung phone has 108 million pixels in it doesn't mean it's gonna destroy my camera that only has 20 million pixel or 60 million pixel. Yes, the picture is gonna look amazing on your phone screen, but let's put those pictures on the computer screen and see what happens. That's when you will see that your phone pictures are not as good as these cameras of today. So I'm gonna wrap this up by saying, guys, I'm not telling you to go out and buy yourself a camera if you can't afford it. I mean, you got a phone that does the job. Why would you need to go out and buy a camera? I'm just here to clear up this megapixel war, that more megapixel gives you better image. Yes, that is the case, but when the sensors are in the same category. So if I have a full frame camera that is 50 million pixel and I got a full frame camera that is 30 million pixel, the image that comes out of the 50 million pixel camera is going to be of a higher resolution than the 30 million image sensor, but they're in the same category. Stop comparing phones with point and shoot cameras, DSLRs, or anything that has a larger sensor, because in this world today, in this time today, it's not compatible at all. They're great, but stop thinking I have a 108 megapixel phone. Why would I need to go buy a camera? Trust me. I mean, if that's the case, I might as well turn up to my next wedding with 2 iPhone 12s. Oh, sorry, 2 Samsung S21s, because guess what? They shoot 108 megapixels, so my photos are gonna be boom. Phones are great, but they're very software driven, and anything that's software driven will always have slightly poor image quality than something that's optically driven. So on that note, until next time, peace. I'm out.